It is a great honor to stand before you today at the official inception of the Resilient Women for Climate Action and Environmental Justice Project. On behalf of the Center for Environment and Justice, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to each one of you for attending this important meeting. Your presence here is more than a symbolic. It demonstrates your commitment to advancing environmental justice, climate resilience, and women's empowerment in our communities. I would like to begin by acknowledging the unwavering support of our cooperating partner, the Carter Center Foundation, based in the United States, for their support and investment in this initiative, which reflects a shared vision of inclusive and sustainable development. Their partnership with us allows to bring together diverse stakeholders under one roof to address pressing environmental and social challenges. We are equally grateful to our local government leaders, civil society partners, and especially His Royal Highness Chifumba and others, who has graciously opened the cultural and administrative space for this project to take root in Lufwanyama. Above all, I recognize the women environmental rights defenders present here today. You are the beating heart of this project. Your courage, resilience, and leadership inspires our mission, mandate, and vision as CEJ. For those that are interacting with the Center for Environment and Justice for the very first time, CEJ have been in existence for over 15 years. We have committed ourselves to promoting environmental sustainability, supporting climate resilience, promoting environmental justice, human rights, and uplifting the living standards of the vulnerable people in our society. Further, we exist to empower and strengthen environmentally challenged communities so that they move from being passive recipients of decision to active participants and leaders in environmental governance. Our mission is to promote environmental justice, sustainable natural resource management. Over the past years, CEJ has built a track record of impactful work across Zambia. From rural farming areas to mining affecting towns, we have trained community monitors to track environmental pollution, supported women in adopting climate-smart agriculture practices, and facilitated constructive engagement between traditional leaders, government institutions, and local communities. These experiences have taught us that meaningful change only happens when communities are at the center of the solutions that we push for. Guests of honor, ladies and gentlemen, Lufwanyama is a district high in natural resources, yet like many mining regions, it faces significant environmental challenges. Industrial activities have contributed to water and air pollution, soil degradation, deforestation, and biodiversity loss. Climate change compounds these problems, bringing erratic rainfall and extreme weather events that disrupt agriculture and livelihoods. While these challenges affect everyone, women often bear the heaviest burden. They walk long distances to find safe water when streams have dried up. They manage household health when polluted-related illnesses rise, and as a primary food producers, they are directly impacted by declining soil fertility and unprecedented farming seasons. Yet, despite being most affected, women remain underrepresented in formal decision-making structures for environmental governance. This lack of representation weakens solutions and perpetuates inequality. This project seeks to change that narrative. The Resilient Women for Climate Action project will elevate women's leadership, amplify their voices in environmental governance, and equip them with skills in advocacy, policy engagement, and we shall also provide sustainable livelihood alternatives. It will also strengthen networks local government and civil society, ensuring that environmental and climate solutions are both inclusive and effective. Today's project inception, the impactful dialogue we call it, and partnership building meeting is a crucial starting point. It allows us to introduce the project scope, its objectives, and expected outcomes to all our stakeholders that are seated here. It provides a safe space for inclusive dialogue between the women, the youth, the children, CSOs, local authorities, and the traditional leaders. It enables us to map the roles and responsibility of each stakeholder in ensuring that there is no duplication of efforts and that actions are complementary. And as the Center for Environment Justice, all the projects that we take in the areas we go to, we are supplementing government's effort. Government is leading the way and we are following behind. Guests of honor, ladies and gentlemen, our approach to partnership is guided by 4 core principles. The first one, inclusivity. We ensure that every voice is heard, particularly those historically excluded from decision making. Second, formal commitment through MOUs. We go beyond verbal promises and create actionable agreements. Thirdly, leveraging strength. Each partner brings unique skills and resources, from technical expertise to community networks and policy influence. The fourth one is capacity building. We invest in strengthening the abilities of all partners to sustain the work beyond the project's duration. From today's meeting, we expect to leave with strengthened relationships between ourselves as stakeholders seated here, a clear understanding of priority areas, increased knowledge on environmental rights and sustainable alternative livelihoods, and a shared framework for coordinated action. These outcomes will lay the foundation for the long-term success of the project and ensure that interventions are locally owned and sustainable. It is important to recognize that women have always been environmental stewards at the household and community level. They know the land, they understand the seasons, they know when the waters dries up, and the changes in local biodiversity. This traditional knowledge is an invaluable asset for designing sustainable solutions for all of us. However, such knowledge has been often excluded from formal decision-making. Through this project, we aim to bridge the gap by training women in leadership and creating platforms for all of us. Partnership building, we cannot work alone as CEJ. Partnership building is critical because the challenges we face, from the environmental degradation to climate change and inequality, are deeply interconnected. They cannot be solved in silos. We cannot solve them alone as CEJ. By working together, we ensure that solutions are multidimensional, inclusive, and sustainable. As we embark on this journey, I call upon each one of you to take ownership of this initiative, and I also commit our support to women leaders to take their rightful place in decision making. In conclusion, I want to thank you, all of you, for your presence, for taking your time from your busy schedule to be here with us as we launch this project, and we're looking forward to working with you for over 5 years in this district. I thank you.
As I now declare this project officially launched, let us commit, each one of us, to supporting and upholding the pledges that will be signed here today. Let us strive for a Lufwanyama where every woman, every child, and every family can live in dignity, breathe clean air, drink clean water, and thrive in a healthy and just environment. Together, we will build a greener, stronger, and more resilient Zambia. I thank you all.
May this launch not only mark the beginning of a project, but the deepening of relationships between people and nature. between women and leadership, and between traditional and modern institutions working towards one goal: a resilient and just future for all. Once again, I welcome you to Lufwanyama, and may this day be fruitful and filled with hope.
Project that will be running here in Lufwanyama in 5 targeted areas. Specifically, we have Mukumbo, Kapata, Kankonde, Kamwesha, and Chifumba. This project is about empowering women environmental defenders to lead in climate action. I think we all understand the weight of how climate change has affected different communities, ranging from the water issues that have been affecting, and women have to walk long distances just to have access to water, and that is something that has come out from the communities. And we have a specific focus, like I earlier mentioned, on Lufwanyama and other vulnerable communities impacted by environmental degradation.
So as an institution, as CEJ, we are operating, maybe I'll just come back to that prayer. We are operating in 9 provinces of the 10 provinces in Zambia. And in each province where we are operating from, we are at least operating in 3 districts. Our first foot in Copperbelt is actually Lufwanyama, so this is the first district we are working from. Of course, we've had other activities like in Mufurila because of our partner Futurepreneur. We have had our activities maybe in Copperbelt, in Kitwe, because we have other projects that we've partnered with other partners like Zambia Institute of Environmental Management, IGOS. But our actual presence in Copperbelt, this is the first district we are working on. And our coming here is for the next 10 years.
I'm curious of 2 cardinal things that I would want to find out from here. I was hearing the submissions that were being given, from 3 departments that I'm curious that I would want to understand one of the things. Number 1 is disaster management and mitigation unit. My question to you, sir, is would you be in position to give us a narrative or the understanding of the occurrence that happens on 28th February with regards to these areas where my colleague has mentioned that we are working from? Have you ever visited them? Have you had any interaction with the community of the occurrence, what had happened to them? What kind of intervention has DMMU actually done to them? Because I'm told that from where the occurrence happened, is it next week the compensation is starting?
Dennis again from DMMU. So just a couple few suggestions, and maybe regarding the same areas that were selected. From what I heard during the discussions here, is that the team has already gone on the ground to do the assessment. Okay, so what I wanted to suggest was to first maybe carry out the needs assessment. When this happened, I think there were some areas that were left out. This could be because of resources or anything. But since these areas are in the same chiefdom, I was suggesting that we, as teams that are involved in this undertaking, we do a comprehensive needs assessment and see how people have really been affected. Now, hearing the issue of the water, which is there, that there's a critical need for water, I would suggest, like people have already suggested, to come up with, to drill boreholes for these communities. Because from a couple few studies that are being done, these are issues of cyanometals, the effluents that have affected the river, the Kafue River. will be really there for a very long time. So if we can assist the communities, so far they may be going back and using the same water, which is really affecting the communities. We don't know the future impact, the impact that will have, these people have as a result of the same. So drilling boreholes is one of the major key priority that can be considered. And also for the farmers, because those areas, those people just rely on farming. Obviously, they are seated along the rivers to do farming. So maybe coming up with also assisting them with the irrigation staff, system that can assist most of these farmers to do irrigation.
On behalf of Lufwanyama Town Council and indeed the entire district administration, it is my honor to deliver the closing remarks as we conclude this important launch ceremony for the Resilient Women for Climate Action and Environmental Justice project. Allow me to begin by expressing sincere appreciation to the Center for Environment Justice and its partners, particularly the Kapata Foundation, for choosing Lufwanyama District as one of the focal areas for this project. This is clear indication of your confidence in our people and our local leadership structures to be agents of change in advancing environmental sustainability and gender justice. We're especially grateful for the inclusive approach that this project has taken, recognizing both women, environmental rights defenders, and our traditional leadership as key players in transforming our communities and safeguarding our natural resources. Together, let us build a resilient, inclusive, and environmentally just Lufwanyama District. Thank you very much.